Welcome back. It's Autism Awareness Month, and if you're a little unfamiliar with the disorder, here to fill us in, Dr. Sarah Mulder from the Traverse Area Pediatrics and Adolescent Clinic. Welcome back, Dr. Mulder.
Thanks for having me back.
First off, we've heard about it, but can you explain autism for us a little bit?
Sure. So what autism is, or autism spectrum disorders, are a group of disorders that children are born with.
Okay.
That include autism, Asperger's disorder, pervasive developmental disorder, to name a few. Those are the most common.
So what are the symptoms? And we'll get into symptoms in a second, but what are the difference between autism and maybe Asperger's?
So Asperger's has traditionally been thought of as a more mild form of autism disorder.
Okay, so it's the same thing but mild.
Maybe to a lesser extent, maybe children who are able to integrate into schools just a little bit better, able to communicate a little bit better, but it's a little more difficult to sort out.
Okay, and now we always talk about, you said it's something you're born with. What are the causes then? I guess.
So we are searching long and hard for a cause of autism, and I don't know that we'll ever find one particular cause, but what we have been able to find is a few things that increase the chances of a child having autism. Most recently, in the Journal of Pediatrics, they published an article that showed that women who were obese or had diabetes during pregnancy were more likely to have a child with autism. There's been a gene that's been identified that's more active in children that have autism, along with spacing of births, and a couple of other things. So I don't think there's any one thing that does it. Our hope is to find something that we can intervene with and prevent autism down the road.
Yeah, and I think we just ran a story yesterday about the obesity and diabetes. It goes up 67%.
Correct.
That's startling.
That's, well, according to that study, and we've seen studies before that have been backtracked, so that's just kind of a starting point, but it really does reiterate how important it is to live a healthy lifestyle and to have those conversations with your physician before you become pregnant about what you can do to help minimize the risks to you and your baby during pregnancy.
Now, we talked a little about the causes, but I know that boys are more likely than girls. Why
so
is that?
The incidence in boys is 1 in 54, and overall in children it's about 1 in 88, and we're not exactly sure why that is.
That's really interesting. I wonder, and I know you're all working hard to figure it out.
Yeah,
but,
when we know, we'll tell you.
Exactly. What are some of the symptoms of autism?
So there are certain things that we look for, red flags, if you will, especially at about the 18-month visit. Some of those are a child that doesn't respond to their name, a child that doesn't point or it doesn't wave. If you have a son or a daughter who doesn't interact well with other kids, doesn't pretend play, so not bringing you cookies, not pretending to be driving a truck, or if they're not using very many words, if they've lost words, or if they're mainly using echoing of your words. So if they repeat what you say but not using it correctly, those are all red flags that your physician should know about.
Yeah, because pretending when you're little, I mean, that's pretty normal.
It's a big developmental step, yeah.
Now, I also say there's some things you can notice physically, like smiling or...
So smiling, we look for children who can smile, and for children who are waving at those ages, it's very important to see those.
And then there's also poor eye contact.
Exactly.
Wow, a lot of different things.
Yep.
Now, as far as when parents have any concern whatsoever, I mean, what should they do?
So they should contact their physician. So
Immediately,
or don't call them in the middle of the night, but call them the next day, please. No, but your physician should be doing a screening for autism at 18 months of age.
Okay.
But if you have concerns before that or even after that, then make sure that you give them a call.
Give them a call. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Mulder.
No
lot of important advice you give us today.
Thank you very much.
If you'd like more information on the Traverse Area Pediatric and Adolescent Clinic, you can go to our website at upnorthlive.com.